Welcome everyone to episode 96 of Apron Podcast with Chia Boys. I am your host Michael Ruspass, and with me as always is your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, Carlos Rodriguez, aka your nerd day. Carlos, how you doing?
Good. I feel better now that Fanatics actually sent my shirt. It only took a month, basically. Ordered it April 6th, and it was like, hey, 6 to 10 business days. I'm like, all right, cool, mid-April. Beginning of May. Gotcha.
Well, I'm very excited that I finally got my, if you could see it for those of you watching, my gritty, I don't even remember, Extreme Rules, when they were Extreme Rules in Philly.
Oh, okay. I was like, Royal Rumble? No.
I had to think of the event. See, I was not there. I can thank Petrosky, and for those of you who are watching, and of course it's not going to come in clear, David Petrosky, real estate, contact him for all your real estate needs. We'll get that out of the way. DavidPetroski, David Petrosky. Contact him on your social media devices. We'll put it in the description somewhere. But yeah.
Oh, he has a TikTok too, right?
Yeah. I'll put his social out there for all of you. If you are in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, and you want to buy a house, sell your house, I don't know, break into a house, you got Petrosky
to break into it. Yeah, if you break into a house and you get caught, Dave Petrosky,
just contact him.
Yeah, just contact him. Yeah, he may be a lawyer. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, well, he picked up this shirt for me, so thank you. It's just we've been waiting to meet up, and he just decided to put it in a brown paper bag with 2 of those pens, and his daughter put a Spider-Man sticker, which I thanked him for, thinking he nicely gave me a Spider-Man sticker, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my daughter must have done it from the dentist." I'm like, "Yeah, all right."
That was cooler than you.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing out of there. So yeah, get that out of the way with a nice new shirt. And for those of you watching, Carlos already knew this was the thing last week. Well, we're now recording on Tuesday, even though I announced we were recording on Friday because Carlos's phone had to...
I got a new one, though.
Yeah, his phone had to die. But for those of you watching and not just listening, you will notice that I'm missing part of a tooth, and it's very noticeable. And I'm watching myself right now miss part of a tooth.
Listen, it's hockey playoffs. You're committed.
Yeah, exactly. It's
time for the Stanley Cup.
I am in character. See, that's what I got the gritty shirt on for. Look,
exactly.
He hit me with a chair. This actually had fallen out pre-Easter. I just still had the piece of tooth, so I could just pop that bad boy back in there. So last time we recorded, I had popped it in, and so. Wanted to get that out of the way for those of you watching.
For me, by the way, last time you were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I didn't do it on air, right? I did it before or after.
You did it before. You popped it out first, and I was like, "What?" It was like the So We Study with Charlie pulling out his teeth. I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. Holy shit!
Yeah. So, now that I have to look at it, I had to explain it.
Yeah. Now that you have to look at it, all of us.
So, yeah. So on that note,
we got to preface: Rest Pass is not from Kensington Ave.
I was pretty close. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty close. But all right. So, what we were trying to get into on Friday, and now the draft has happened since. This is Tuesday night. We were recording May 2nd. It's still pretty relevant. I don't think we were going to discuss the draft, so that don't matter. We are talking about the brand new World Heavyweight Championship, which when you had first posted on Twitter, which I did not know about, I said this, and I will stand by this. When I first seen it, it looked like particle board. I
did see that.
I thought Daniel Bryan came back.
It's the Plant Championship again.
But very quickly, it's kind of hard to explain why they did it. I think it's pretty obvious, and it's come out. This has a lot to do with the Saudi Arabia show. They were originally going to do King of the Ring. They wanted a bigger show, so now they're ending which they never even called it a tournament. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing for the title, but it's going to be crowned at Saudi Arabia Night of Champions. And it's purely...
I'm sure after Backlash this week, we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll just pick two guys out of a hat.
You have so short time, right? Because Backlash is this Sunday from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then perfect timing for the shirt, actually. Funny enough that I got this. WWE actually knew what they were doing, or Fanatics, should I say. By the way, Fanatics sucks. Just they are horrible. For any NFL, anything, they just suck.
I love you, Fanatics. You can send me free stuff.
You can send me free stuff as long as it's not 2 months later. Okay, how about that? I'll take a free World Heavyweight Championship. How about that? I'll wear it every day. Fuck it. I don't like the design. Anyway, yeah. So that's Backlash, and then I just looked up the new Night of Champions. Now that was King and Queen of the Ring is May 27th from Saudi Arabia. So we don't have that much time. Like, we got so we literally have 20 days to get a new World Heavyweight Champion. And I know they've been building it up little by little, right? Like, we've seen some people who are like, oh, I want to win the belt. I want to win the belt. But there's nothing concrete, like no beat the clock challenge, no elimination stuff, leading up. So I'm sure Monday night starting next week, especially post draft, since it's a Raw title.
Again, who knows? I have no idea. They could go out and play rock, paper, scissors for it. But they had the draft.
It's WWE. I wouldn't be surprised.
So we would like to assume, and we actually started talking about this before we aired, and then we said, hey, let's save this. I'd like to assume now that there's the draft that this will be Monday Night Raw members competing for it, but WWE is known to do a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
What was it that one year that I think, was it Cena got drafted to a brand and there was 2 world titles in one brand? Like SmackDown, I think, had 2 world titles, and then someone from Raw won the Cena's title because they already had a match planned, or whoever's title. So that title then became the Raw. It's like, it was like predictable as shit. It's like, of course.
Yeah. And that's why, I guess the only reason why I hope we have not heard of any matches for that reason. So if they end up coming out and we have guys from SmackDown competing anyway, then it kind of defeated the purpose of waiting, really.
True, unless the whole, they state from jump, like, all right, whoever wins this, even if it's someone from SmackDown, they are going to be a Raw star. Like, you have to sign a Raw contract, or there's free agents now as well, right?
Yeah. Now if you do Raw members and free agents, and maybe that was a reason why leaving some guys as a free agent was to kind of.
I didn't even think of that, actually.
To kind of make that a surprise. See, I had a list, and I thought this gave me the Raw members and SmackDown members, but it did not. It actually gives the draft picks during each show, and then I got to read each and every one to see who ended up on which show. And this does it too, so I'm glad to see.
I don't like that. Damn, this sucks, because I'm on WWE's roster, right? So, like, if I go to Raw on WWE.com, it is not updated. Because Albie Frey, who's one of the NXT Women's Tag Champions, actually no, it's kind of. Oh, it is. I just don't see her, which is, it's not like fully updated, because it's weird. Because like Indy Hartwell is listed on Raw, which makes sense, but like Frey's not listed on there. Apollo Crews is on there, but it doesn't matter. I was hoping to see who the free agents were.
Now,
after
since we're getting a little bit into the draft here before we really get into the title talk, can you explain to me why Raw had 8 billion supplemental picks? And,
what the fuck?
Because
they 3 hours, I'm assuming.
I guess
that's always the thing that I think of.
But I thought, isn't that why they used to do that shit where they got 3 picks and SmackDown got 2?
Yeah,
like
agreed. Yeah, that's what I was under the impression of before as well.
I don't know. I felt like they could have been done better. Like, just go. Like, I remember seeing the supplemental. I was like, God damn. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess on Monday, the supplemental picks, you'll have a lot of, more SmackDown. And now, no, that's not what.
You know what? Looking at this set of free agents, only one of them could be world champion. There ain't no way the other ones are going to be world champion. I'll tell you right now.
Almost.
Yep, exactly. The Homo sapiens rise up. It's our time.
But like, I could see him and Dolph in like a tournament though.
Yeah. Like, I can see them in the tournament. Yeah, I agree with that. But no, not winning it. No fucking way.
I mean, and see, and there you go. Now we'll get away from the draft and more into the actual title.
Yeah, let's get into the actual news, the title, and then we could kind of touch on the draft only on the Raw side.
Well, I mean, and we could talk more about the title, but this is still kind of about the title. Who do you think wins the title first? Or hold on. Who do you think should? It would be a two-part question here. Who do you think should win it, and who do you think will win it?
Who I think should win it is Seth Rollins. Who I think will win it? Looking at the Raw roster. Fuck, man. I kind of want... See, you got in my head. So either... I'm going to say this is going to be random. Either Drew McIntyre, because he's been gone for a bit, or Gunther. That's who I think would probably win it.
It's weird.
Because what an impact it would make if Gunther, like his first 2-3 weeks, like similar to Finn Balor when he got drafted to Raw, right? Like those first couple weeks and they introduced the Universal title and he won it. Like he beat Roman Reigns, he won it right away. Maybe we do something like that with Gunther, but Gunther doesn't get hurt. Oh, or maybe not because he just got married, so maybe it's honeymoon time. I'm trying not to think about real world shit.
Right.
It would be cool if someone from the Judgment Day won it, like Damian Priest. But that means he would have to beat Bad Bunny this weekend and Puerto Rico. Now they're both from the island. I would like to see Damian Priest win.
I'm shocked that you went with Priest and not Finn Balor as winning the title.
I think Priest is technically the leader of Judgment Day, isn't he? Not? Is he not?
Well, wouldn't that kind of that's I read somewhere where they were like Rhea Ripley's actually the leader.
Honestly, she kind of is.
But like in reality, him winning the title would make him the leader in that sense. If that you know, I don't know. See, I look around at everybody, and I'm gonna try to stick to just Raw talent here without because I can honestly see them putting it on SmackDown guy and leaving him. I'd say. Who do I think will win is Seth Rollins. And that's what I found funny that you said should win at Seth Rollins and then you went with who do you think will. I think who will win it is Seth Rollins. I think he makes the most sense.
He's put the work in the past.
He makes the most sense. I even was... see, that's what I get for not leaving up what I was reading. There was some article. It was probably on Bleacher Report or something like that because I was trying to find the draft information. And... they had mentioned how Seth Rollins, like, if you're gonna put the title on somebody, Seth Rollins is somebody who has not lost to Roman quite like some of these other guys have. So if you're trying to put some like legitimacy on the title, since basically, and see, I didn't even get into this earlier. This title is purely so they don't have to take the titles off of Roman.
He's gonna hit that 1,000 days. Now,
and because he's not wrestling full time, they needed a title, and
true.
And it was
I do like that Triple H has been working on this for a while.
Yeah, but
it doesn't feel like a shotgun. The timing does.
Yeah, this was done for Saudi Arabia. This was done. That's the thing. It was clearly done for Saudi Arabia. It was. and it sucks because it felt like when Triple H came out and he talks about how like we're gonna have a champion that that commands your respect, not demands your respect, and all this other shit. And I'm like, Roman Reigns is still. I don't care how often he's there. He's still your biggest like draw as far as wrestlers go.
No, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was forced. Like you said, it was definitely something that they've been building towards, but it felt like it just came out of nowhere.
I know you were the biggest person saying that Roman was going to win at WrestleMania. In my head, if he would have done this the way I would have done it, I was saying the same thing. Cody wins WrestleMania, and then Monday has a super fucking hot babyface promo where he's like, "It's time for other people to get opportunities. It's time for other people to not just me be the only champion. Like wrestling is more than just me. It's more than this. You know, I make a joke about like wrestling's more than one family. You know, all this stuff, and like be like we're separating the titles. We're like moving forward. You know, not even the blue belt, or I guess whatever one you want to keep, but that's the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. Like, you know, moving forward, that's the lineage of the WWE title moving forward.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what, they're both the fucking same belt. So you pick either blue, red, or fucking black. Who cares? I would go with black, I guess. I kind of like the blue one though. You move forward with that title, and then Cody's the one who unveils the World Heavyweight Championship, and I was like, yeah, like I'm moving over to SmackDown. That is going to be my brand, but I can't wait to see who wins this title. You know, or maybe Triple H and him was like, hey, me and Triple H have a thing. Like we were talking about this. There's like it should be more fighting champions. Like there should be more opportunities out there, and then doing that. Then this belt, like I don't know if you've seen a lot of the people online saying like this is a consolation prize.
Yeah.
Like straight up, and it's not even if Cody won it, just in general. And I was like, okay, if Cody wins this, it is, and that's a goddamn shame. Cody shouldn't win this first. He should win it maybe fifth, sixth, you know, down the line. He should get this belt eventually.
See what they've done now is they've made Cody beating Roman into. They weaved that into his story. You know, we talk about all the story. Now, I said that was
WrestleMania
Roman,
40.
How I said that was Roman's story, not Cody's story. Now they have come together, and that's the problem. This title, everybody wants to talk about how it looks like the championship we thought Cody was going to have. I don't think this is the title that Cody's going after. I think it's going to be about him chasing Roman now. So I don't think I think he's on Raw to keep him away from Roman, but he's not on Raw to win that title. And that's what I guess that's what sucks the most about all this. I did not think Cody should have won at WrestleMania. I still believe Cody shouldn't won at WrestleMania. I think Roman should have passed 1,000 days. You don't get that close and just take it away from him. I felt like he should get past it. Now, I feel like there is a way better way of doing this, including some weird stipulate where maybe, you know, Triple H, WWE, whatever, announces that there's no more unified titles, right? You can't defend both at the same time. If you're going to have both championships, you have to defend both. Something weird. I don't know. You know, what the hell is the difference of that or just coming up with a new title? You know, you start demanding it, and then maybe you have Roman for a pay-per-view or two wrestle for both, or just wrestle for one, and then, you know, come up with the whole, you know, you have X amount of days to defend the one. And then it's like, all right,
like, you defending Universal, but you still got like 5 more days that you got to do.
Yeah, you're getting close to it, and then for whatever reason, Roman doesn't, you know, I don't know, Cody flattens his limo's tires. I don't know. You come up with something stupid where he can't defend the title, and now he's stripped of it. So he never loses it. His streak is still going because he still has a title, because this isn't about him holding the unified titles for that long. So he keeps one still to keep the streak alive, but then he loses the title without actually losing. And that's a way to separate them. And then you change that title to this, you know, and you can always do that after the person wins the title. Yeah, I just felt like there's a better way to do this. Now it will constantly feel like a consolation prize. If Seth Rollins wins this, he still hasn't beaten Roman for the title. And that's the way everybody's going to feel. None of them have beaten Roman for the title. So it's just going to feel that way. It's just gonna...
I do agree. I do agree to a certain extent. I think Seth winning it, to me, would be Seth or Brock Lesnar, I guess. Because I'm looking at like Bleacher has like a top 7 of who they want, like who they think should win it. I for either those two would be the ones I'd be like, listen, we are the only ones who ever got under Roman's skin. We're the only ones who got close, like that crazy close, and not even like, and Cody as well. But like Cody's out of this picture, like we said. It's been a while since Seth has gone for the world title. And he's the one who always just gets under the skin. And from a character standpoint, I don't know how you feel about Seth in WWE. Like, I've always liked him. I liked him when he was in the Shield. And then when he broke out on his own, I liked him. And then when he became babyface, he got a little stale. Right now, he's found the perfect balance of babyface. He's like he's a perfect tweener for the modern era, for better or worse, because he's so fucking annoying, even as a good guy or as a bad guy. He's literally the Joker. Like, and depends on what Earth you're on. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's like either a good Joker or a bad Joker.
Right.
But he's the Joker no matter what. He's just annoying douchebag that's really good in the fucking ring. And he's either on your side or he's not. I think now is the perfect time to give him a belt. He is one of the ones I wouldn't consider it to. I know a lot of people will, but I wouldn't consider it a consolation prize just because of the work he's put in. Cody's a consolation prize because literally he just lost at WrestleMania.
It'll be a consolation prize no matter who wins it. It sucks. It's the way they did it, and that's what I said. It's the way they did it, and that's what sucks the most of all. If they found a way to separate them without making it like, we need somebody here who's going to defend it constantly, here's the title for that person.
Or even how Brock did it back in the day. If Roman did that, like, I'm done going on 2 shows. I'm just going to be on 1 from now on.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. Yeah.
If he just find out, if they were like, all right, yeah, the world champion's got to be on both shows. And like, use the same fucking thing. He hasn't shown up to Raw in a month. You have to start showing up, and he says, I'm the tribal chief, I do what I want. And they're like, all right, you show up next Monday, or you lose one of the titles.
And you have a perfect
person show up
in Triple H. Yeah, you have a perfect person in Triple H to introduce that title in that sense, right? So you have Roman who's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm bigger and better than all of you. I'll go whatever the fuck I want. I'm the tribal chief. Fuck you, fuck all this. I'm staying on SmackDown. Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Similar to Brock. And then Triple H can be like, I remember someone doing this back in the day. And back in the day when this happened, controversy, yes or no, there was somebody who was given a belt. And that was me. So now I'm going to give an opportunity to someone else. And then just because he's the good guy now, don't be like, I'm not going to hand it to them. Like, Bischoff fucking handed it to him. That worked for his bad guy persona.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And then that was literally the most annoying time to be a wrestling fan and watch Raw. SmackDown was fucking killing it in 2005, 2006. Raw fucking sucked because Triple H was champion.
But yeah, then at that point, now it comes down to, all right, well, this is just the opportunity for a second champion. Roman's getting too, he's getting too full of himself now. Mm-hmm. He basically screwed himself, and then you could still have the whole, like, the little hints of, like, I don't know. I'm assuming pay-per-views are still going to be shared pay-per-views. So you have Roman walk by the new champion and say, oh, that's cute.
Scoff at it.
That's cute. I just threw that away and stuff like that. And then you got the whole, well, you were just afraid to fight me for it. And, then it becomes this whole little thing where it's like a tongue-in-cheek.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where it's like, all right, he threw it away, but it doesn't feel like a consolation prize now. I don't know. It feels like a title was created so they don't have to get rid of either one of the titles. For Roman.
I don't know why this popped in my head randomly. because I just said Survivor Series, right? What if, not the first champion, but maybe SummerSlam, right? You get a new champion. It says Seth loses to either Finn or Damian Priest, right? So we get the Survivor Series, and he starts building up little by little. Finally, almost like in the '90s with the gang warfare. Remember that back in the day, with like the Los Boricuas and all. Wow, I keep bringing them a lot of Puerto Rican stuff this week. It's perfect. Like the Boricuas and everyone like fighting each other and shit. You do that, right? But you do it in why can't I think of the fucking name of the structure? War games. Do war games, right? But you have Judgment Day with either Damian Priest or Finn Balor as the World Heavyweight Champion versus the Bloodline, and maybe a third group. You throw maybe some thrown together group. I don't fucking know. Oh, Imperium, perfect, right? So these three groups in war games. Gunther being like, I'm the fucking best champion around. Look at me. No one can beat me. I'm the ring general. I got this Intercontinental. I don't give a fuck about your world titles. Look at me. I'm fucking better than both of you combined. Finn being like, or Damian being like, I'm the fucking world heavyweight champion. Like, I'm this brand new champion. I'm the shit. I run this bitch. Let's fucking go. And then, Roman being like, all of you are peasants under me. Who the fuck do you guys think I am? I'm the tribal chief. Dude, it writes itself. That's perfect, right? And then you get Gunther and Roman like you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
no world title would be defended, obviously.
And
it'd be cool.
And the thing I look at it is, I'm going to look at it from a different side. Which I can tell you this: I have not even said who I want to win the title.
Oh my god, yeah, we just kept going. Yeah,
Shinsuke. I want to see Shinsuke win it. I would love to see Shinsuke win it.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think it gets the crowd into, being like, oh, well, they finally put the title on him, and then he can lose to fucking Seth right away. I don't care. But, yeah, I don't know.
He needs one world championship.
I feel like it kind of would have that feel.
Asuka's got a bunch of championships, It
would have that feel of, like, when they put the title on Finn. I know, obviously, he had to drop because of an injury, but, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like then you legitimize Shinsuke back into the main event picture a little bit there. But, see, I look at SummerSlam as a different thing, and I'm going back to if you did all that with the title, right, and you split them up, or hell, even now you don't, right? Seth Rollins wins the title, SummerSlam rolls around, they do the whole Raw versus SmackDown. You get Rollins against Reigns. It's not for a title, but you get both champions. And then Rollins beats Reigns. So now Rollins wins, but it's not for a title. Now you have the other champion can say, I don't care how I got this title. I beat him. I beat the tribal chief. I beat him. I deserve this championship. This championship should no longer be viewed as, you know what I mean? Then it
secondary.
It brings up like a whole, hey, he kind of won it from Roman. Roman never lost the title. I don't know. I feel like it's a way to get that without having Roman have to lose a title. And I don't know when SummerSlam. I mean, obviously, they're usually like August, right?
Yeah, August.
So I mean, we're talking about a little whiles from now. But you make a storyline out of it, where Seth feels like he's still, like Seth almost demands that match as the champion because he's like, you don't think I know? You all think I can't beat Roman and all this other stuff. I'm going to prove it to you. Then it becomes this whole thing where now Seth finally getting one over Roman. Roman still got the title. Now he can hold on to it until WrestleMania and lose it to Cody. And then you do a whole thing where Cody gets past Brock. He gets past whatever he's getting through, and Cody's just like, I want another crack at Roman. They're like, I'm sorry. You were drafted on Raw. He's on SmackDown. Just can't happen. And then that's where him, I guess, winning a second Rumble comes in, or Money in the Bank I don't know when they put Money in the Bank on a pay-per-view right now, isn't that?
It's like June.
So now,
yeah, it's June.
Now you have that, and maybe you even have him like, they're going to have to make that Money in the Bank vague, which they've done this before, But
100%, yeah.
Because sometimes they've had two different Money in the Bank contracts, right? They've had then the one year they had like four different.
They
Money
had like
in the
a
Bank.
Raw and a SmackDown,
and then
one,
they had two.
But
women's.
I always liked when it was just one.
Yeah, and they
It
just
was
said
one briefcase.
Yeah.
But the superstars were from both brands, so that whoever wins it, and they could choose. It was like, all right,
Yeah.
that's how Dolph won the world title.
Yeah, and how they could even be like, all right, we're only doing one because Roman's not around as much, or I don't know. And then Cody's just showing up randomly to SmackDown, then like Roman's not
Just
there.
to remind
Roman's
him.
not there that week.
Yeah,
Roman's just not there that week, and he's like, I'm going to keep showing up here randomly. I'm going to try to catch, And then
finally,
he's just
like, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Lincoln Financial Field.
I couldn't do it
April
last year.
3rd.
I'll do it this
Yeah.
year.
I'll do it for America. Racism.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'll end racism.
now you got the whole, he's won the Royal Rumble. Now he's won the Money in the Bank contract. He does the whole, the stupid way to do the Money in the Bank contract. Hell, you have him cash in and lose. And then he wins the Rumble to get one last shot. I don't know.
That's not a bad storyline as well. I'm sure people would get annoyed that if he won,
Roman's been the
why does
champion.
he keep winning this
Roman's been the champion for 900 and some days. You really want to get annoyed about Cody still getting opportunities?
Exactly.
At least hold on.
At least he's losing.
There's three scenarios other than my great scenario that I gave about Gunther and Roman Reigns. The three most talked about scenarios of the next WrestleMania with Roman Reigns is Cody, The Rock, and Seth Rollins. Like, we haven't seen Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns wrestle 8 billion times. And The Rock is the other guy they want to come in here and beat Roman. So think about that.
Yeah.
You think people are going to get sick of Cody getting opportunities? Literally, those are the two most talked about things up to this point. And it makes sense because now you're like, oh crap, I thought they were going to have him win it. I thought they were going to. Oh, hold on. I said SummerSlam earlier. I meant Survivor Series when I was saying about Seth Rollins. But like, I don't know if Money in the Bank's before SummerSlam, he goes after it at SummerSlam, and loses again. And then the Royal Rumble happens, and because he won at 30, right? He was number 30.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So now you have he's talking about how he wants one more shot and all this, and Roman's like, hey, I will give you a shot at WrestleMania in a steel cage or something like that. Something at Hell in a Cell.
No interference. Yeah.
You just got to win it at one.
Like the impossible odds. Yeah.
You can win it at one. I'll give you any match you want at WrestleMania, or I don't know what's Dusty famous for. Is there a certain match that he?
I mean, other than War Games, bull rope.
I was gonna say some type of Texas rope match. You have something like that. I don't know. Again, it's a way to keep it interesting, so it's not just another one-on-one.
True.
It's slowly him going after, because now that's all we're waiting for. Cody's thing has to be tied to Roman, and I think putting them on Raw now gives it a whole like, oh wow, they're going to keep them apart, and that's a way to
are they? Not really.
That's a way to get Cody still to go after him, where he's just showing up and and Roman, or like he tries to cash in one night and the Usos and Solo help, and that's when he finally says, you know what, I'm coming after it at SummerSlam. I'm calling it right now. We're gonna have a legit match. And then,
it's similar to RVD at like One Night Stand. Like, I'm cashing out. It's gonna be the happiest.
But then Cody doesn't win again. He has to not win again. It has to be another, the Usos and Solo help, to the point that they're like, all right, what can I do now? And now it's just Cody so desperate to beat Roman. Cody's beating Brock. He's beating everybody else. He's just so desperate now to beat Cody that's all he's talking about. But yeah, then
So he's driving him crazy.
it becomes a Roman story and a Cody story, and Cody finally getting over that hump. Now, will that happen? Probably not.
No, it's WWE. No.
I think it's actually more likely that Roman would lose it at SummerSlam to a Money in the Bank cash in than to make it to WrestleMania next year. I don't know. I feel like once he passes 1,000, I think it's done.
Yeah, it might lose its luster at that point.
And then now,
yeah. I like where we're going this, because now I'm looking at, I don't know if this is like the full. I think this is the full thing. So yeah, I'll put this in our little chat that we got going on here. These are the rosters, and what the funny thing was, what popped in my head now was multiple questions, right? I don't know why, but we got to mention AEW, of course, because they were shills.
Always, always.
But I remember when Paige won the world title. I think TK went on record saying, I knew who the first 3 champions were going to be from day one. So he knew it was going to be Jericho, or, the first 4 or whatever. Jericho, Mox, Omega, Paige. So he knew that going into the company. Who would you pick as your first 4 world heavyweight champions with the current roster as it is right now with Raw? Obviously that can go into next year. I do draft, all this stuff, but like if you had to pick out what we have on the Raw roster right now, who would you pick as your first 4 world heavyweight champions?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm gonna go with neither one of the guys that I picked when we talked about winning the title, and I'll go Finn Balor as one. I'll go Seth Rollins as 2. I throw a little curveball here and say Randy Orton 3.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't think he's not on SmackDown, right? Because he's hurt.
No, he's on Raw. He's on Raw.
But he's not on.
He's at least on this.
He's,
oh yeah, it has him on the Raw roster in this thing I sent.
The thing you sent me, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh shit, no, it doesn't.
No, because he was hurt.
That's right. Yeah, he's undrafted.
So,
yeah. He wasn't eligible. That was that's right.
And then I'll go. So they got to be 4 different guys. Oh, cool! My screen went black. This website you sent me just made my screens go black.
Virus. No. No. You could do a 2-time.
Then I'll go. Seth Rollins gets it back. So those are your first 4.
Okay. So if it was me, I like the Shinsuke idea. I think I would do Seth 1. I think I would do Seth 1. I'm gonna go Damian Priest 2. 3, I go Shinsuke. And then 4. I thought we both went for Randy Orton. I'm going for Randy Orton as well. Now here's a supplemental question for Raw specifically. Other than Becky Lynch, because I'm going like WWE 2K rating, right? She has the highest rating of any female wrestler in WWE games, right? Other than Becky, what other woman on this is an easy answer, I think. What other woman on this roster could you see winning this world title?
I was going to say, you just...
It's just Rhea, right? Rhea Ripley. Yeah.
No.
No.
Ronda.
No, don't. God damn it. I was like, don't say Ronda. God, no. At least Rhea's like entertaining.
The funny thing is,
she's a good wrestler.
You got Shayna, like you
have legitimate.
Even Piper Nevin. I'm just like looking at the Raw roster. I'm like, there's actually like I realize who's the most likely. Yeah, you just you purposely threw that out there because
there's only, I was looking. I was like, I forgot to exclude her. I was like, nah, it's got to be Rhea.
There's only probably 2 members of the roster that you could even say would have a legit shot at it.
Rhea, Ronda.
Well, Rhea and Raquel.
Yeah, Raquel.
I assume those are the 2 most likely. Then the other 2 would be Becky and Ronda, I would assume.
Yeah.
But
Becky's of course, yeah, right?
That ain't happening.
No. No, unfortunately, we're not in that day and age.
It's funny. I was going to say Becky wins the title, but I don't know. I think it makes the most sense for Finn to win it. I just think it does. I think it makes the most sense for Finn to win it. Huh, yeah. And it's funny because you literally said, who do I think will win it? Who do I think should win it? I think Finn makes the most sense, and then have Seth beat Finn. And don't even give me them in the finals of this. Have Seth lose leading up to the finals or something. I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
See, because and then that's on the flip side. If you have them in the finals, then you have Seth beat Finn, and it kind of has that feeling of like, well, Finn beat him last time. Now Seth won. Seth finally beat Finn for the title. I would like to see Finn get a little bit of a run. Judgment Day is kind of intertwined in a lot of big storylines.
Yeah, and they're on a. I know when Edge left and all that stuff, I thought they might have floundered, but they've really found their footing as a group. I feel like.
And then you even have you can put Priest starts chasing Gunther for the title. For the Intercontinental
That's a
title.
match I want to see. Mm-hmm.
So now you got Priest. Maybe you pull the whole where you have, multiple champions in that group where he's the one that dethrones Gunther. Finn's got the title. I don't know.
Like a spooky NWO.
Hold on, and I'm an idiot. Raquel's actually on Raw. I didn't see her in between Piper Niven and Rhea Ripley, but yeah, Raquel's actually on Raw. So who's most likely other than Rhea or Becky on Raw? Raquel Rodriguez. So they legit have all the because all 4 of them are on Raw. Raw's going to be nice women's title wise, just to get completely off of our topic here.
No, it really is too, especially with Bianca is now on SmackDown, so that means Rhea's would be the Raw Women's Champion, I guess now.
So you have.
I don't like why they do that, where they just trade the belt.
Yeah. See, you have Becky. I'm going to skip some of these others. No offense to Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Dana Brooke, and Emma, Indy Hartwell. No offense to all of them, but even Liv Morgan, I'll pass. You got Natalya as the veteran on here. You got Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley. You have Ronda Rousey. You have Shayna Baszler. And you have Trish Stratus all on the Monday Night Raw roster. And SmackDown, you basically have Bianca and Bailey.
And Asuka,
Yeah, I mean it's funny. It just goes to show you how good the women's roster is in general in WWE, and how much it sucks that they're being used so little. Because when you really go down the line, there's at least 4 or 5 legitimate. And obviously I'm including Natalya in there, where I know people could probably roll their eyes, and I'm including Trish, who knows how long she's here for. And I'm a huge fan of Shayna Baszler, which I know a lot of people may not be, but I'm a very huge fan of her.
I love her in-ring work. Especially in NXT. I think she was killing it over there.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you how strong the women's roster is. But as a whole, I think the Raw women's roster is better. All right.
Yeah, they're very stacked.
But yeah, that's completely getting off the point here.
Yeah.
So who do you see the finals being? I know we said like who we were talking about. Who do you see the finals being? I mean, I already kind of said mine, so I'll stick with that. As much as I'm like, I want to see Finn Balor, I think it's going to be Finn against Seth. I think that's makes the most sense. Or is it a singles match that we get? Do we get some type of multi-man match at Night of Champions?
True, yeah, it could be like a fatal 4-way.
It also could be a mini tournament where a guy's got to win 2 matches.
Round robin, yeah. If it's a single match, I would still go, and this is also like me booking it, right? Like booking this weekend. Damian goes over Bad Bunny, so it's Damian and Rollins.
Okay.
And maybe Bad Bunny costs him the title.
You really got Damian in the finals of this title?
I just keep thinking he's the goddamn leader. That's why I've tried not to, but like it's obviously Finn is the bigger name, right? But I don't know why. I remember someone said it was like, "Hey, Damian's supposed to be the leader." I was like, "Is he?" I'm not upset. Like I don't think there's like one clear leader other than Rhea.
Yeah, but I guess that's the. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with Finn and Seth. I would say if they
It's gonna be Odyssey Jones and Ricochet. That's
now let's say we get down to 4 again. That's the biggest problem here. We're talking. We could talk about the title and not who's going to win it, but really, what the hell are we going to talk about? Look at the design; it's nice. I mean, do you think they put the history of the world title included on this, or is this kind of like when the Universal got birthed out of nowhere?
I'm a big fan of history in general, just like whether it be American history, you know, all that shit. I also love wrestling history, fake wrestling history. I love it so much. I would link it to the previous world championship. I would have that full lineage. You know, that means my important time when I saw Kurt Angle win in Philadelphia, January 10th, 2006.
Right.
You know.
See, and I think that that is huge when it comes to this, because now you don't necessarily need it to be a strong number 1, because it's not the first guy to hold this title. So that's also the other, like, where I had in my mind of like maybe Orton potentially coming back and winning the title, because now you're, you know, and that's, I think that's what threw everybody off about Finn winning the Universal title, is because it kind of had that feel where you're building a title out of thin air. And not to say that Finn didn't deserve it, but you almost felt like they were going to put it on somebody. Yeah, it's the whole idea where I said that Punk's going to win AEW's championship. You know, not to go on the AEW when we're talking about WWE, but like we talked about it, we said he has to. I'm assuming at some point Bryan Danielson will too, just for the lineage of the title to be able to say those guys won it.
Yeah,
that's where I feel like they to say like Orton was the first Universal Champion. You know, it has a different feel to it than saying, oh, well, nobody's technically held the World Heavyweight title for years, but here's the whole lineage back to it. When you get into that, then it becomes less about needing to be an impactful first person to have it. Me saying all that, I still feel like, let's say you get 4 guys, right? They got to win 2 matches. Saudi Arabia, it still kind of has that King of Ring feel. Without it being King of the Ring. I would say, this is me purely just booking it out of nowhere, that you get The Miz against Balor.
Okay.
And then you get Seth against... does KO go to Saudi Arabia?
Probably not. Since Sammy's not.
No, hold on. I'm saying has he?
Don't know. That feels kind of like, yo, if my brother ain't going, I ain't going.
Yeah, but but Sammy's hasn't went any of the times. That's what I'm saying. If KO has went, I could see that being a way to get him on the card where you have KO against Rollins.
That could, yeah. I'm looking at their events right now. Just
because then it kind of explains why the tag titles aren't, because now Owens is competing in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament or whatever. So now they didn't make a tag match for the champions because KO's involved with something else. I feel like it's a way to explain it out of it. But again, I don't know. Like you said, I know you're saying that, but if Owens has been there at other Saudi Arabias, it kind of doesn't hold its weight. If he's like, hey, Kevin Owens isn't going because he's tag champions with Sammy now. He still was best friends with him in real life leading up to this and showed up. And I could be completely wrong, and somebody can say, hey, he's never been to Saudi Arabia for that reason. But I feel like he has been. So, yeah.
I think it seems like he did before, but he has stopped. According to there's like a list of people who have wrestlers refusing to work. Sammy did not participate as Zayn is Syrian descent, and Saudi Arabia's strained relationship with Syria. Noam Dar has never competed since he's of an Israeli wrestler. Daniel Bryan has refused to work the show due to the murder of the thing. Cena was scheduled to participate in the World Cup, but called an honor post to complete Saudi Arabia during blah blah blah. Was placed by Bobby Lashley. Refused to work the event as well. Roman Reigns has refused before. 2019 Super Showdown. Kevin Owens and Aleister Black had told WWE they would not travel to Saudi Arabia. And that comes from his friendship with Sami Zayn. Was Goldberg? Yeah, wait, hold on. I was like, wait. Despite Dar not participating in Saudi Arabia shows, I didn't think it was. And due to the Arab-Israeli conflict, Bill Goldberg and Paul Heyman have worked multiple Saudi Arabia shows. I'm like, wait, hold on. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. In Heyman's case, his own mother having been a Holocaust survivor. Jesus Christ. Did not know that about him. Goldberg said he was afraid to go. Makes sense. And MVP is not allowed to go.
See, didn't Goldberg's
gone multiple times. Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what's like.
Yeah.
And 2019, was that like shortly after what happened with the plane?
Yeah.
Where they got stuck on the plane?
Oh, God, yeah. Jesus.
So I wouldn't doubt that you're probably seeing more people refuse because of that experience than other things. Being afraid they ain't gonna come back home and all that other stuff. I don't know. I'm still standing by that.
Yeah, no.
But
hey,
I don't know. See, that's what's tough. We don't have enough information about this right now, right? So a lot of it comes down to we're fantasy booking something they haven't announced. Do you think they're more likely to have a tournament or just a one-off match?
I think you have like a couple qualifying matches for like on the next like 2 Raws, like after the Sunday. I think there's 2 Raws in between Backlash and Night of Champions.
You're saying 2 qualifying matches, not necessarily a tournament?
Yeah, not a tournament, and maybe that night you end it like just qualifying to get into the tournament, and then that night is the tournament, right? So it's a 4-hour pay-per-view. It's called Night of Champions. You probably have, well, the tag titles aren't going to be defended, but you would have the world heavyweight. Roman's probably going to defend his title just because he's about to get paid. You know, I'm like, why not? Theory's probably going to defend his title, and Gunther. So,
I assume that's why they're having this there. Is because Roman won't be there to have.
You think so?
Yeah, that's why I assume that was the whole point.
I honestly didn't even think about that.
I figured that was literally the whole point of this. So if Roman competes, then really this was thrown together. Because
true,
you know, I thought the idea was to appease Saudi Arabia by having a world championship, you know, competed for there. So
that does make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said,
wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
If Roman competes, it'd be weird. I think anyway, it would make this even more nonsensical of how they did it and how they rushed it. I don't know. It's weird. It's still weird to me.
All of it is, yeah.
So I think we started. Did we start getting into the design before the show, and then I said let's just wait and talk about
yes.
it.
Yeah.
So I think what I was starting to say was because you were saying it grew on you. after
Yeah,
you
already
first
a
seen it.
weekend. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
And so my thing was, and I know I said about the particle board and stuff, and everybody's kind of been right. It's like a mix between the North American title with the big fucking obnoxious WWE logo in the middle,
Which I hate it.
with the
I
world
hate
in
it
the
when it
middle.
was first. Yeah, hated it.
And then the world heavyweight title, the big gold,
Yeah,
the old
yeah. It feels
WCW
like they
title.
just got forced to kiss.
Yeah.
You know.
And I was saying it also looks a little bit like the AEW title. You know, it has that little bit of resemblance. The difference is the AEW title, and my biggest gripe with the AEW title from the beginning. Look at that. See, we will talk bad on AEW. I'm about to talk bad on the world title. That is a title that has grown on me, but I still think it's misshaped. I still don't like the shape of it. I don't like. I don't know. I feel like it's too bulky, like around. Like the main part, I feel like should stand out, and I feel like it's like bulky around it. I don't know. I feel like there's something.
You mean kind of like the side plates, like it's still
Yeah,
big
it's still the same
like...
size of it. I don't. It was honestly my biggest issue with AEW was their women's title and their men's title. I did not like either one of them, and they have since changed their women's title because
It's better
was that
now.
little stupid thing. And
like the old school Japanese
I felt
world title.
I felt like that
yeah,
was made because they knew Riho won it first, right?
Yeah,
I felt like
we were there that day.
yeah, I felt like it was there, so it didn't like drown out Riho because she's so small.
Just tiny.
But then the moment she lost that title, it looked ridiculous. It just looked ridiculous on everybody else. So
Yeah, it didn't look right on Nia or anybody, honestly. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm never a fan of titles being like. See, it's funny. I feel like they should all look somewhat similar in a way. And now I'm thinking about it. Like the more you think about it, we grew up with titles, and hey, at least we're talking about titles now. Like the Intercontinental title was never shaped the same as like the world title.
no, because it had the more oval. Yeah.
So like the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, and maybe I just feel like world championships like should look somewhat similar. I don't know.
The issue is nothing will ever, to me, beat the IWGP IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a nice title.
That belt is the greatest looking title for me, like one of them.
And then like you got like the new ROH titles, which I think are worse than the titles they had before them. I don't like their new titles. It looks painted on.
When Cody had the ROH World title, I like that look. That was like peak ROH at that time. I like that design.
Yeah, I think what they've changed to now, right, is like it's more. They almost have a little bit of an Intercontinental feel where they're a little bit more oval, but like they're silver, right? With like
it's like he wanted to keep the old school style.
Yeah, they wanted to look basic, but it looks fan made. I think a little bit.
I got you.
Like I said,
I was cool with the pure title staying.
Yeah,
that silver kind of gold, but I kind of like the gold for the world championship specifically.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's funny. You're starting to think about it, like because then you have the one of my second favorite championships, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, which combined with the heavyweight championship to make the world heavyweight championship now. Which I do not like that design, the new one. It's okay. I've grown accustomed to it. But that one had like a silver tint to it. And it's not that secondary, but like it is. You know what I mean? Like that silver kind of brings out that like, hey, this is different. This is not the main title. This is not the, whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm with you. The newer design helps a little bit with the newer blocking of the letters, with the new ROH logo and stuff. But I'm still not the biggest fan of them. I like AEW's world title. It has similar tones to the IWGP heavyweight title.
I wish me typing in Pro Wrestling Championships would have shown a lot of like the WWE, AEW. You know,
One of my favorite world titles.
A bunch of random
Yeah.
wrestling companies I've never even heard of.
Look up the Pan African.
I would say when Trisha Dora was it?
Yeah, when she was the champion. That was the coolest goddamn belt ever.
But like the Intercontinental title right now, ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It'll never look okay to me. It's ugly.
The greatest thing was when Cody brought back a newer version of the white title. That and Randy's like oval Intercontinental are my favorites.
I like the size of the WWE title. I think that shape. I'm fine with that shape. You know, the plate in the front is even the United States. Is that still the eagle with the red and white behind it? The United States Championship.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I'm assuming it's still the way that I think that I don't like the shape of that medal.
No, I haven't liked that for a while.
The funny thing is, I don't mind the design. I think the shape of the center. That's where it's a very fine line. I think between some of these titles, I like them to be.
It's like the championships embossed. It's like out.
I'd like it to be a little bit more round, and that's where I think WCW's title, the big gold, that one did it right. I felt like that one looks important. I guess that's the thing. I want it to look important. I want that World Heavyweight Championship to stand out. It's funny because I said I want them all to be similar shaped, and I'm talking about similar shape, and that's where I think it becomes a little bit of a gray area here. When I say I want it to be shaped, I'm talking the actual shape of the title. They don't have to be the same size. They don't have to look the same. But I want them to look similar in the sense that, like, oh, okay, it's still a title from this company. But, like, I like when things... See, and that's where I like AEW's title because it stands out in that sense. I just... Maybe because it looks too much like Big Gold, but then it has the side plates that are, like, too big. Where Big Gold, it comes down into it. And maybe that's why I can't just unsee WCW's title when I see AEW's title. And that's probably what throws me off, is because I feel like you basically took that title and then just added bigger side plates to it.
I bet you, to a certain degree, I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 EVPs had a hand in making that title, like designing that title with Tony, or at least Cody, Tony, and Cody. I already said, I said that right. Cody, Tony, and Kenny had a hand, I bet you, making that title, because it has that like WCW feel, that big gold belt, similar to what Dusty would have won. When it was the NWA Championship, that was that title, the one that Ric Flair designed, and then it has some of the appeal of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship that Kenny would have won, like that classic design, and it's like a amalgamation of those two.
See, and I'm looking at it right now, right, the AEW World Title, and I think it's because the center plate maybe is not big enough for me. And maybe that's the problem, is the center plate, it's separated from the side plates. Like, if you connected them all, and maybe I'm looking at it now, and I'm like looking at it now, and just like on the screen, it looks cool because it's separated, and it looks like those pieces would go together. So in one way, it looks cool, but the other way, I don't know. There's something off about that title that I'm not necessarily... Like, I love their trios titles.
They're great.
They're
amazing.
I love the little circular titles, and then the funny thing is, I'm a fan of their tag titles. And I think it's nice because it goes from like that big obnoxious world title, right, and not obnoxious in a bad way. Your world title should have something that stands out. And then you got the tag titles, which are a little bit smaller versions of it. It's kind of the normal shape that we're used to seeing a little bit. And then you got the circular titles that we've seen before in the trios. It almost works its way down the more guys have a title. So I kind of like that transition a little bit from world to tag to trios. But yeah, like, and then you got the TBS championship is that circular title.
Yeah.
And even the TNT and TBS almost looks like the same titles. There's
well, that kind of makes sense. There's the you know, they're supposed to be like brother sister titles, right?
See, and like the all what's it called now? It's still the All Atlantic. No, it's
international.
The international title.
AEW international title.
That has the kind of same feel as the world title to me, where the side plates are like, I don't know. I think I'm so used to the side plates being smaller that when it's kind of that, and even the AEW title now I'm looking at, it's because they have the two side plates too, where like usually you have like
on the other
one,
side,
so
just the one.
It's
on
literally
either side,
there's literally a main title. The side plates are kind of broken off, and again the design is cool now that I'm looking at it, where like it's like broken off. It looks like it all fit together, but I feel like if you just made that one center plate obnoxiously big, like obnoxiously longer, like you connected them and then just had the side plates on the end, I feel like it would look better to me. But that's also what they did with the intercon or the international or the All Atlantic, because I'm looking at them, it's basically the same title shape.
Oh yeah.
Where it goes down and out, and I don't know. I feel like the strap looks weird to me when it's not like some type of circular or square. I don't care what it is, and then it comes down to the belt part. It because like right here there's a picture of all of them, and you got TNT and TBS. I like for what they are. Again, they're basic looking titles, which they're supposed to be the fighting champions. That's what the you know. Then you got the world title is big. I wish it was a different shape a little bit. I like the tag titles. I like the trio titles. Even FTW title, it's a classic. You don't ever change that. They better not ever update that. No. Leave it the way it is.
It's too perfect.
But then the international / All Atlantic, I don't know. See, I feel like if they gave us more of the Intercontinental title, and it's a problem. How do you make it an All Atlantic where it's basically the Intercontinental title, and then you shape it just like the Intercontinental title?
Yeah,
but like if you gave us more of that oval look to it, I mean they do it with all the ROH titles, so
that's true. And one of the things I do like about AEW, and it's per character, so it kind of fits a lot of times, is when they get custom belts, because not every like. With WWE, it's usually like the world title or someone big gets custom title. Like Cena got a custom US title and then a custom WWE title, and it was the worst WWE title ever. I do like that Max has his own, like the Burberry strap on his AW title. I like that Scorpio had the Lakers colors.
Yeah, see,
for his TNT title.
I like the strap change more than I like when they change the title itself.
Because it personalizes to a certain degree to that wrestler.
Yeah.
And it has to be per wrestler, Like, it wouldn't fit if Hangman, like, had that. But, like, let's, God forbid, it's nowhere it happened. But, like, if Matt or Nick Jackson won the world title, right? Like, it should be, like... It almost should be like a version of those WWE titles that they do for anniversaries. Like, Rey Mysterio has like the lucha stuff around it and stuff, like for his anniversary title, Hall of Famer title. It should be something like that where it's just like neon colors or some shit like that for them. Like that would fit because of their characters and who they are. Right. I'm surprised they never did that with their tag championships. That's actually really surprising. I don't know what I was trying to think of something. What was I going to mention? Oh, I did want to... One gripe with the new World Heavyweight title. I'm like I said, I'm starting to get used to it already faster than I thought I would. I like that it has the lines of the big gold belt to the side, but everything feels like it's being... I'm doing this, which looks horrible. But someone online, she's like a AEW fan. I love her. So I think her name's Jess. I can't remember her last name. She's awesome. she said, "Why does the new world heavyweight title look like it's the baby's crowning during birth?" And I was like, "God damn, it kind of does look like that because you have the lions to either side if you look closely at it, and then it looks like the globe is like pushing through. It's like that's the fucking head of the baby coming out." And I was like, the one thing, and I keep saying it online, and it doesn't make sense. I think I said something to Asa and Dalton for their show too. I don't like the globe itself. I don't know why, but I feel that's the intrusive part of the belt that I don't like. I'll eventually get used to it, but something about the globe on the world title just doesn't sit right. With the North American, it kind of, even though I didn't like it at first, and it's funny enough, I didn't like it because of the burgundy belt of it, like the strap of it itself. I got accustomed to it, and it makes sense now. I don't know if this will, and we're gonna be stuck with it for a while. It makes sense if that makes sense.
And that's the way I look at it a little bit is like it's WWE and their WWE Championship and their Universal Championship had a big fucking W. The WW on it. Like it's just one big WWE logo. There's nothing else to it. It's literally a leather strap with the WWE logo in it. So are we surprised that there's a huge fucking WWE? No, and I think the reason they had to put I wish it wasn't a globe. I wish it was just a circle. I feel like the title looks so much better if, let's say, that circle is just the belt. Kind of like how the WWE Championship is. It's just the belt inside that circle. And now the WWE could stand out. You almost make it the fucking jewels and the red line just like it is in the other one. But then it still has the feel of everything else to it. I feel like it looks less bad. I don't know. I feel like they were trying to go for a classic look. And then because you do technically see the belt inside the WWE still, I don't know. I feel like it... I'm assuming the plates on the side are going to get replaced. Do they still do that with the whole fucking...
Yeah, I'm sure.
The champion gets, their own personalized plates inside it. Yeah, because there's no longer a name.
Fanatics
on
makes
these.
too much goddamn money off of that.
Yeah, there's no longer a name on these titles. So that's kind of the way they put them.
They look, I'm like zooming in on the photo of like Seth talking about the title. It looks like you can on the side there's
there's a circular plate.
Each side has
and that's actually one thing I've liked that WWE did with their titles over time was put those little plates on there. I think
they're cool.
It's cool. It's the same thing that everybody else does. They do the nameplates. It's just they want to be different. So now it's it's another thing to sell, and I think it makes, like, were you talking about how you like when people change the titles and stuff? It makes the title change without having to change the title. It's up to whatever the logo or whatever they have on there is. So I think that's...
And you just hope it's like the wrestler has a cool logo.
Yeah.
So then it looks cool.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's not that bad, really. Like you said, when you look at it, it's not that bad. I prefer this shape over AEW's title. The shape of the title I prefer.
I agree. No, I agree. Because if you squint, it looks like the old world title.
But that's what, like, when I was just looking at different championships, they had there's a picture of Christian when he won the I guess it was TNA title still. And like I like that where it was gold, and then I think the TNA symbol was silver on it. But it has that same feel. That's where I think AEW, that's what I like about AEW, is it's gold, but it's really silver. Like,
yeah, it has different accents to it.
That's what I said.
And it does have that like IWGP feel to it where the letters pop out.
Yeah. I feel like if you shaped it a little bit more, and I'm sure they didn't want it to look too much like WCW's title, but if you shaped it a little bit more like it, I think by far it would be the best title out there.
I agree.
But
I would agree.
I know they want it to feel different. I don't know. I just, every time I look at it, I there's a picture of them holding the title, and it just, I don't know. It feels a little off. It just always has, and I think it always will to me. And that shape will stay. I'm sure it will. But like,
I'd be interested to see whenever they do redesign that title, what does that look like?
nah. And that's one thing I always hate is redesign a title, but I realize as a business, they got to change the titles. Like they just got.
There's so much like for the fan's perspective, like the Uber fan who wants to buy a replica belt, you get that money. For kids, you can buy more toys. You know that there's always that. I'm the happiest I've been so far with AEW's titles, at least redesign wise, is the women's. It's finally at the place where I think it needs to be.
Yeah, now that was by far their worst title.
Yeah, I would have to wholeheartedly agree. TBS and TNT. I have some strange fondness for the TNT title, the back in the day one, like the red one, just because I didn't like it at first, and I grew accustomed to it very quickly. I was like, oh, I like this. This is pretty cool. And it's like Brody's title, so it kind of feels special. Yeah, I think that's it. TNA's had some good titles too. This is a good episode. We should do another day. We should have like a visual episode and do one of those ranking. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Where like the trash or whatever. Oh, this is a great episode idea, actually. Damn.
Well, that's what. See, the funny thing is, I was going to talk about this being more like a title episode, and I'm going to give you the legit reason why. I did not change to that, and that is because way back when we did a title episode, and this was episode 11. And the episode was called Championship Title Belts, which wrestlers come to mind. And we just talked about different titles and what wrestlers, we associate with those titles. So that's why I was like, I don't want to do the same episode. Like, that's when you talk about titles. That's it. But yeah, maybe, hold on. And did I guess I said this on the episode. Yeah, I must have. Because, I called them out, the nerdiest part of the ring, to to a redraft, and I got a response back saying that I think they're both in for it, but what we should do, and see, I was hoping to make this episode 100, and depending, maybe if we can only record every other week or something, maybe this will stall our episodes a little bit since we only have 3 more episodes until that happens, but I'd like us to design titles. Or something like that.
Ooh, okay. Like in WWE 2K23?
I don't know. Just draw it.
Or just... Fair, okay.
We could just draw them, and I'll try to make them as much as I can graphically for the...
Or you use macaroni and glue to make my title.
For the show. We could be a little bit better prepared than we were last time. I think we drafted titles, right?
Yeah,
I know we drafted announced teams and stuff, but we could do that maybe a little bit better, and create our own. I don't know, but yeah, all this title talk has now got me saying like, hey, we should just design them, name our shows, everything.
We do that, and like I said, we could do an episode dedicated to title rankings. What's trash? What's man?
Yeah, and like I said,
go to S tier,
and that ends up being different than saying who do we associate with each title for talking rankings. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I think
there we go. Us talking through a whole episode got us more episodes.
Yeah, that's always the best.
And then eventually we'll talk about All In.
That's always the best part, especially when we talk about a title that is, a week and a half old and we have zero information on. The fact that we got an hour out of this, an hour 20 out of it, was a little crazy to me. I expected us to go... I mean, I guess we did start talking about other companies and off the title, but the fact that we stuck with titles for this long, I think, is a little bit insane because there's no information at all. There's just not. True. But please give us information. Like on Friday, please give us some. Hold on, what's today? Today's Tuesday.
So they
didn't give us any information last night. So on Friday, give us some information, please. I mean, it's too late now.
Fridays, yeah, I was gonna say Friday's a go home show for for Backlash. So
Yeah. I mean, we already recorded this episode, so I don't care
it
about
doesn't
any
matter.
information.
Well,
It's already
yeah.
done.
Monday, I'm assuming.
I think we're both in agreement that Shinsuke should win it. I think that's
Shinsuke.
that's where I.
Shinsuke's got to win it at some point.
No, he's got to win now.
Now, yeah, or you lose it, yeah.
I don't know who would Saudi Arabia go crazy for to see win the title at the end. That's
Yokozuna.
There you go, Yokozuna. You heard it here first.
they want him so bad.
They see my whole thing, and I will leave this with you. First of all, I know you said it online, and we'll say about our old friend Alex Kane. He won Battle Riot. Was that 5?
Hell yeah,
I think
man.
that's what I was just looking up now. The MLW Battle Riot 5. He earned the title shot. Hopefully he wins their title. But now I'm going to correlate this a little bit to MLW and say that whole SummerSlam thing where Cody gets cheated is when Jacob Fatu shows up in WWE and he helps.
Could you imagine, dude?
And he helps Roman win. And nobody will know who the fuck he is. I mean, some people will, we will, but like,
it'd be us like freaking the fuck out.
I'm talking about live audience, not necessarily people watching.
There's definitely going to be someone who it would sound racist when they say it, but it's not racist when they mean it. Be like, how many of these motherfuckers are there?
Yeah.
How many Samoans are there?
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm happy nothing happened between now and when the title got announced, so I could keep this as a title episode, but as our episode's title about the title.
Yeah, Vince McMahon died. Oh, I guess we gotta talk about this now. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, there's more Vince McMahon stuff we could have talked about. And see, that's the biggest problem. That a lot of it's just the same shit. More CM Punk drama. Do we want to talk about CM Punk again now? We can quickly touch on this stuff. Are you surprised to hear about these racist pitches in WWE?
No.
Okay.
He said the N-word on Raw one
exactly.
time.
We don't need a long debate on any of this stuff. No, exactly. Is anybody surprised about this? No. I'm just surprised it's finally now coming out. Some of the shit we seen on TV was extremely racist. And for anybody defending some of this stuff and saying, well, that was a different time. Well, it's just parody. Well, it's just... No. No, this is an old man who thinks this stuff's funny, putting it out for you to watch. I don't care.
He dressed in a do-rag.
Yeah, he
come on.
He
man.
clearly signed off on a lot of these racist things because he thought it was funny. Plain and simple. So no, none of that stuff should be surprising. And then number 2 is there a lot of fake outrage about CM Punk showing up to 2 different shows in Chicago, wrestling wise, and clearly has had friends in both companies. Fake outrage, right? Pointless outrage.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, I thought it was cool as shit that he went to Raw. He got to talk to Triple H, bury a hatchet a little bit with them, talk like legit just men. And I didn't know Miz and him had heat, but he talked to Miz and they shot that shit down. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then goes to Impact to support Trinity in her debut, which is airing this Thursday. And yeah.
There is 2 huge things about this. 2 huge things. One, is a lot of fake Meltzer outrage behind this. And Bischoff's trying to stay relevant by talking about CM Punk every week. And AEW, and he's trying to make it sound like they both want to call it the new WCW, although they're adding shows and going to Wembley. But regardless, CM Punk ain't stupid. He ain't dumb. Do I think he's doing this to like pressure AEW? No. I think he's doing this to keep his name out there. I think AEW is fully aware that he was going to do these things. I would not doubt that this was a little bit of Tony Khan's idea to get CM Punk's fucking name out there, which is why you constantly see other wrestlers showing up at these shows and you don't hear about them. But CM Punk, everybody fucking seen. I don't think he probably drove there in a CM Punk car, like, and fucking like started screaming at the crowd. For a guy who don't like who supposedly don't like taking pictures and don't like signing autographs. I bet he fucking announced it from the rooftops when he showed up at these stadiums. Why? Because his name's out there now. They don't have to announce him for the first show of this new show. It's already been rumored. His name's out there now. It's there.
It's his show.
Hey, guess what? He still exists. He's still in the wrestling world. It's so funny. Oh, my God. Now, guess what they don't have to do? They don't have to say CM Punk returns. The first episode in Chicago. They're just going to say the first episode of this thing in Chicago. And then everybody's going to be like, this is when Punk's returning. And it's going to sell out. And Punk will show up. And everybody will be like, oh, my God, it's the second time Punk sold out a stadium without being announced. And it's like, exactly. All because he fucking showed up at 2 wrestling shows and just was like, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah. Who got more press at the Impact show? Punk or Mercedes Moné?
Yeah.
I was like, Mercedes like, oh, yeah, okay, she's there.
It was
like, hey, that's a big deal. That's a Stardom IWGP former champion. Like, what the hell, bro? Like... It was. Yeah, I gotta make it just as big of a deal for her showing up. I know she's supporting the same person. They're both supporting the same person.
This was all done intentional. I would not doubt that Brian Alvarez and Meltzer is in on this in the way that like they're feeding fake outrage.
Plus, you're gonna tell me that they get a word. You don't tell me Scott D'Amore is like, I ain't fucking up any working relationships. Hold on 1 second. Yo, TK.
Exactly.
Just let you know, your man's here. I'm just letting you know. I didn't invite him. Trinity invited him. He's my guest. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, exactly. This shit, it's done.
D'Amore is smart as fuck. Like, let's not lie.
It was done on purpose. It was being broadcasted on purpose. It was to get us to talk about him without them having to spend any time on TV talking about him. It's all done on purpose, and it's just one more reason that I was right from the beginning, and that this was all one big fucking swerve. Do I think there was issues? Yeah, I think there's fucking issues. But it's kind of like the Cody Roman thing. There's going to be fucking a roster split. You know why you do something like that? It has nothing to do with them not wanting to wrestle each other. It has nothing to do with it.
Build that storyline up.
Yeah, it's to fucking prolong it. What's the storyline everybody wants right now? They want that match at Wembley, right? You put them on different shows. They don't interact for a year. You build that shit longer. Punk never shows up on Dynamite. They never show up on Collision, if that is the new show's name. Yeah, you build it up for a fucking year. Then guess what sells out the second time they go to Wembley or when they go to another country? Is when it finally fucking happens. I think this is very, very much long-term booking. I think there is some issues, but as I told you, I think the Moxley Punk issue is much to do about nothing. I think that is them literally. I think Punk just started feuds with fucking everybody at that point, just to.
He's just angry. Yeah.
Jericho, I know it's that whole. He had a meeting with Jericho because he's going to be the one that talks to the rest of them. Why? Why is it coming out now that Jericho is basically fucking the right-hand man of Tony Khan who does everything? Why is that coming out right now?
Yeah.
Why is all that coming out right now? Why? If this has been going on for a while and everybody's kept secret, and because of meeting with Punk, that information's come out? Or did it come out to make it make sense of why Jericho is there and to make it look like Omega and the Bucks are still pissed and all this other stuff? I don't know. I don't know that Punk would want to be there if these guys. It's a safety thing at that point. In reality, if they really don't want to work with him and there's guys there that want to refuse him, do I think there are people that are not in on this? Yeah, I do. I think there are people that think there's legit heat. I like to believe in my heart of hearts that Kenny and the Young Bucks are smarter than that. And they know they don't have to like him. And they maybe didn't like him from the beginning. I wouldn't doubt that most people didn't like him. But they know making this out to be a bigger deal than it really was is best for everybody. It just is. It blurs the line of real and fake. And wrestling's at its best when you're not sure if it's real. And CM Punk does it better than just about anybody.
Very true.
So I wouldn't doubt that there was a lot of... I mean, they fucking got rumored that CM Punk was coming back. And then 10 minutes later, he puts the fucking Instagram thing out.
Yep,
I mean,
talking shit.
Hold on. This thing's been in works for a while. He's finally now getting healthy. It just randomly gets announced then that he's been talking to them for a while, even though there's been no news up to this point. It's now just randomly out there. And that day, Punk decides to go on a social media bender. It just happens to happen that way.
Just happens to be, yep. Yeah, no, you're right.
And the collision gets announced, and now CM Punk just happens to show up at WWE and Impact. Yeah. Or did they feed this information knowing that WWE and Impact were about to be in Chicago, knowing CM Punk was going to be there, and this information got fed just close enough to the event so when he shows up, now everybody's like, oh my God, he's pissed at AEW. Look, he's going to see these other companies. Maybe he's not coming back. I don't know. It's I'm a very, very... Wrestling has fucking jaded the shit out of me.
Isn't that crazy though? Yeah.
I'm convinced. I've been saying it. I'm convinced. Convinced. In case you didn't hear it, Vince. Vince is a con. But no, Vince, more than anybody, has just made me him. What he's done has made me. I don't know what's real and fake. And we will all enjoy this better if we just think this was one big fucking swerve. We'll just all enjoy it better. I don't know.
No, you're right.
But yeah,
you breathe easier. You know.
Yeah. See, I finally got to talk about it, but yeah, I didn't want to take too long. We did maybe 10 minutes on all this. I don't know. And we'll eventually have another CM Punk episode because I'm sure the 27 things are going to happen between now and then. But
that, or at the end of every episode from now on, we'll just have like a 10-minute CM Punk break. We're like, we have to talk about it.
No longer will we do CM Punk episode, but we will have our
the CM Punk minute.
Yeah, CM Punk update until he returns. So yeah. So brand new WWE, brand new World Heavyweight title. I gotta keep remembering the brand new World Heavyweight Championship. So I think we both agree we like it. We just not just even just the look. Yeah, we like the idea of it.
I love the idea of it.
We just don't like the execution of it.
No,
okay,
not at all.
I just making sure we're agreeing there.
Very WWE is like, hey man, this is good. Not how we got there, but it is good.
Yeah, and just wait until they announce the brand new WWE Universal Championship that they'll have a tournament for on SmackDown because Roman's not around, and he'll be the undisputed champion. There's going to be a Universal Champion.
3.
Yeah. It's
gonna be like a tiered system.
You really want to find out about that consolation prize? It would be the second champion on the show with Roman, who's the unified champion. So. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to get off your chest?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, then there you go. Hopefully I'll have this taken care of tonight and maybe be out tomorrow, depending on how long it takes me to get ready and how long this takes to upload before I leave for work tonight. So on that note, we'll see you when we see you.